Well, I'm on the farm today, and it has been raining like crazy the past few days. Yesterday was especially hard. It cleared out about 1 o'clock, and then by 4 o'clock, thunderclouds moved back in. I was lined up to cut hay yesterday evening, but the thunderstorms moved in and kind of knocked me out. So here I am. It's a Saturday morning. I don't know what today is, but it's Memorial Day weekend, and I'm getting ready to cut some hay. Did I mention we had rain? The creek is rolling. So everything is really wet. It just, everything is wet, but we got a window here, about a 5-day window to make hay on, and we're just going to mash the pedal and try to make this work. And it's supposed to be clear skies for the next 5 days. I believe these clouds are moving out. It's right still at the moment, but occasionally a little breeze comes through, and I think as the sun comes on out, it's going to get a little more breezy throughout the day. So make my way over to the Massey Ferguson 1105 in the Krone, and we're going to try to lay down some hay. So right here's a good view of this field. This is our east field before I cut, and the breeze is blowing pretty good up here at the road. Right here's what I got to cut. No fertilizer this year. I think there's a lot of residual down in that ground. There it is, the mighty Massey Ferguson 1105. I gotta put that panel back on. Did some air conditioning diagnostics on this, which is another video. And it's all good. Alright, I got that panel back on, and I'm gonna get this thing started. I hope it'll start. And then I got one more thing to do. Massey Ferguson key is different. Boy, that thing's made right there than any other key I've ever seen. I have to clean all the glass so we can get a clear video out from this camp. So I got the Windex and the paper towels, and I've actually got a squeegee that telescopes to reach up into these areas. Now I realize probably the big YouTube channels, they probably have somebody to come in and do this for them, or they just go out and buy a new tractor with clean windshields. I don't know. No warranty expressed or implied. Alright, I cleaned the windshields as best I can. It was tedious. Hopefully you can see. And if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I wouldn't do this, but I've got over 6,000 subscribers as this video goes up on YouTube, and I think only about 150 subscribers actually watch my YouTube channel. I'm not sure what the purpose of subscribing to a channel is if you're not gonna watch it just a little bit. And I'm I'm thinking that maybe they're confusing the subscribe button for the thumbs down button. Not much I can do about the bird poop out there on the hood and over here on the side. I really need to give this thing a good washing and some kind of waxing or something. Get rid of that crap. Alright, we're going to mosey on out to the hay fields. I got an adjustment to make, and we'll pick it up from there. Cutting. And I'm probably going to cut my west field over there too. Actually, between now and Saturday a week, I'm hoping to have everything cut. And as per protocol on this farm, I like to wear a brand specific hat for whatever tractor I'm driving on, to the extent it's practical. So I got the MF hat on today. I tell you, the grass looks really good. I don't think it's as thick because we didn't fertilize. I mean, there's a lot of stems, but I think down in there it's just not as thick. But that's okay. We're saving a bundle of money, and I've been spending money like a drunken sailor. 2 tractors and a round baler in the past 12 months, and so sometimes you just need to, from a prudent financial standpoint, you just need to kind of take a little break. Everybody and their brother, except for a couple people that I'm aware of, have not cut any hay, and the ones that have, it's been minimal. And this weekend, there's a lot of hay going down. I mean, it looks sunny back to the east. To the west, it's still right cloudy. And so, I don't know. I hope it doesn't rain. It's calling for clear skies. The thing we really got to be careful of is these telephone poles, because the axle on this Massey Ferguson sticks out well past the wheels, and you really can't see it over the fender. I thought about putting something sticking out. You know, a lot of people have lights that stick out. We're not quite that fancy yet, but I'd probably do something nicer than a stick. But it would be a bad day on this farm if that big axle sticking out from this, from the rim on this tractor were to hit that telephone pole. Let me unlock some hydraulics. I'm gonna open this mower conditioner up. I'll be right back. So it's a little hard to see, but there's a dimension written on there. 28 3/4 to the pin. So we're just going to try to be close to that. It's almost right on there. So as far as the height right here goes, that's in pretty good shape. Next thing I want to check is the height of the cut. And last year on second cut, back when I did my freeze-dried hay, I turned it a little closer to the ground. So I mean, that says that's almost 3.5 inches, but really I had it set for something closer to 4. It's probably just kind of where I'm sitting. See, that one's a little bit higher. So what I'm gonna do on the Krone, this little lever right here, it'll pitch the cutter bar up if I manage to turn it the right way. You can see. And I actually have a stop here where I normally cut. There's a lock nut. So that's right on 5 inches, and that's what I want. And I want to do that for 2 reasons. One of them is I want a high stubble because it's so wet. Everything's so wet I want to try to get the maximum drying, but I also want the second cut to get off to a good start. And the way these things work, they just pull straight down, and then you normally with two hands just latch it like that, and same thing over here. I hope nothing breaks, but I kind of feel like I don't know, maybe I'm biased. I kind of feel like the Krone is a Cadillac, but we need to do a better job of keeping it out of the rain when we're, when we're not using it. 2020 hay season is underway. I'm in third gear, low range. I just went to multi-power high, and this field is always kind of thin up in here. It's kind of a plateau. I think it drains and kind of starves out the grass. I'm kind of staying off of the edge of the perimeter of the field. We picked up a fair number of sticks, and I don't know, I just don't want to run any of that stuff through my Krone. So let me keep going and I'll come back. I won't bore you with every detail cutting this field. Alright, I'm just out here kind of checking the mower over after the first pass. Keeping plenty of distance between me and the PTO. All that feels good. There's no belts on this Krone. Right there's my cut in the high stubble. I'm hoping this will dry out pretty good. I'm gonna kick it up to high range, first gear, multi-power low. And normally I run multi-power low and high in first gear on any cut, first cut. Really it puts me in multi-power high, first gear, high range. Puts me up to about 7 miles an hour. That's about as fast as I can stay in the seat. The speed on this tractor is not limited by horsepower. It's limited by how bumpy our fields are. So let me continue on and I'll come back. Alright, so I'm making my way around the field, and first gear, high range, multi-power high. The tractor is going just great. All the vitals look good, the water temperature and oil pressure, and the hood looks like crap, but I've stopped a couple of times and checked the stubble with my faster ground speed. It looks okay to me. The grass is definitely setting up on top of it. and it's definitely thinner than in years past. And that's because we didn't fertilize, but that's okay. Going right along here, and seems like the sun's coming out. Still a fair amount of water on on my tires. Looks like there's flies all over the hood of my Krone. A lot of times, actually almost every time, if the grass is done gone right, and you know, it's kind of gone to seed, kind of like it did last year because we were so late cutting. The hood of that Krone, it almost looks like the hopper of a combine. It's so full of seed. Really not seeing that at all in this cutting. We'll forage test this hay, but just the fact that I'm not seeing a bunch of seed laid up on the hood of that Krone bodes well for the hay quality. Knock on wood, seems to be doing okay. I got my air conditioner on, and I've got the cool dialed back where it just cycles on and off a little bit. It's not exactly hot on this farm today, but you know, these cans, when they get a little sun on them, like I'm coming into right here, they can get right hot. And air conditioning is great, and I would recommend, if you got it on your tractor and it don't work, fix it. It's definitely worth the investment. Now, when I make a turn, I try to watch that back right wheel on the board, and when it stops rolling, then I've probably made the tightest pivot that I can make with it. But I'm still terrible at corners. Someday, I'll make square corners in these hay fields. The grass is definitely thinner, and there's a lot of stems, but down beneath, they're just not as it would be expected with no fertilizer. There's just not as much undergrowth, but that's okay. What it might afford us the opportunity to do is double up our windrows and cut down the amount of time we'll be on the field with the baler. Usually when we fertilize really heavy. I mean, we pound these fields with fertilizer because whatever square bales we're going to get is what we're going to get. We don't have like hundreds and hundreds of acres, so we have to make the most of the fields we got, and so we rely on fertilizer, you know, to help us do that. And of course, we don't want to mine out our fields. The fact that we didn't fertilize this past year in no way is indicative of what our plans are going forward. We definitely want to wade back into the fertilizer. We just kind of would like to see how the fertilizer prices shake out, and the prices of petroleum. I'm not sure that these prices are going to go down. I do think that the supply chain at some point will refill everything where we're having shortages. But I think they spend so much money. The government spends so much money and they print so much money that your dollar is just worthless compared to what it was. I mean, I'm glad we made our investment when we did. There recapitalize this farm, because if we had to try it now, it would have to be so much more expensive. And my barn over there, you know, the lumber, the materials for that, and even used tractors are really, really expensive. And of the new stuff I've bought, you know, in the past years, I got really good deals on it, and I'm not sure they're to be had. Over there, flying off, you can't really see it. We have blackbirds up here. You don't see them in the city, but we call them red-winged blackbirds. They got a little red patch kind of on the shoulder of their wing, and they're very, most people don't care for a blackbird, but those things are actually pretty nice looking. They're pretty nice looking birds. And occasionally we'll see an oriole here on this farm, and of course bluebirds. And now, you know, occasionally we see a bald eagle. But yeah, the red-winged blackbirds, we still see them up here. We don't see any quail, and occasionally we'll see a grouse, but you know, quail used to be plentiful on this farm. If you're new to the channel, this is a 1977 Massey Ferguson 1105. It dynos at it's either 117 or 118 horsepower, and I bought it. I've had it several years now, and it's got 4,856.9 hours. I don't know if you can see that or not. I've been a little frustrated that I've had to send it to get repaired 2 times. The first one was injectors rebuilt, and had a hydraulic rate control valve fixed on it, and then there were some other things. Oh, I had the air conditioning redone. I had a new compressor put in, and then I had to send it back this past winter to have the seal on the radial pump fixed. If you're familiar with Massey Ferguson 1100 through 1155 series tractors, you'll know what I'm talking about. And when the mechanics were doing that repair, they saw that the pulley on the crank was just had a slight, wasn't even a wobble. It just wasn't running quite true, and turned out that damper pulley was bad. So while they had it in there, they pulled it apart again and fixed that. They didn't even ask, which I really appreciate. You know, I really appreciated that. And a lot of mechanics would probably just slap it back together. Well, he didn't tell us, so why bother? But the guy I use and his crew, I feel like he got my back when I send a tractor like this to him. Wind's really blowing now. I don't know if you can see the American flag up there. It's turning into I think it's going to turn into a beautiful day. One of my patented screwed up corners. Anyway, we've taken some camcorder footage, and we're going I'll get the drone out here in a little bit and take some videos. My daughter and I took the Part 107, the FAA Part 107 test, such that we could take videos and monetize our videos. Technically, you're supposed to do that. I really don't think too many people do, but it's just like collecting sales tax, you know. We do all that stuff, and I'm not sure anybody does it. My accountant says nobody comes to him with sales tax stuff, but I feel like as soon as we don't do it, somebody will turn us in. So, you know, let's just be right from the get-go. So, probably get the drone out next and get some video. Again, I don't know if it'll be in this video or not, but my daughter and I both took that test and passed it, and so she's here to help me video. I'll come back. Alright, so I stopped for a minute just to kind of look things over, and bugs on the hood. I mean, I'm not seeing any seed on the hood of that mower, which is an excellent sign when it comes to quality of the grass. And you can see the tine spinning down in there. Knock on wood, the Massey's doing a great job. Knock on wood, the Massey's doing a great job. And I got the air conditioner dialed in just right for the kind of cloudy overcast skies we got. I'm really surprised it hadn't brightened up yet, but I guess it will. I guess it will. Here we go. I could mow all day. I could mow all day out here today. It's a baling end of it that kind of gets pretty heavy, but I tell you, this Massey Ferguson is doing a nice job. All right, I'm getting down to the end. I pretty much got this field knocked out. Let me finish it off and I'll come back. Alright, so that finishes this field, and it starts the hay season 2021. As soon as I get parked, I'll get out and have a few more comments. Alright, so I'm letting the Massey 1105 cool down here just a little bit. And thing ran like a champ. Grass looks pretty good. It's just not very thick, I don't think. But we'll still get a goodly amount of hay out of this field. This is 1105, and this Krone make an excellent combo, and you can see what I'm talking about here. I mean, there's very little in the way of seeds. There's some kind of bug in here, but this is all just grass clippings. I don't know what kind of bug those things are, but I don't think there's any seed on this mower conditioner, which speaks really well of the relative maturity of this grass. And again, those are the tine conditioners. They just work great on grass hay, which is you know, what we have. That's what we're growing here. There's some of the grass. It's a mixture of orchard fescue. There's Timothy in there. The Timothy I planted in this field is called Climax, and it doesn't mature probably for another 2 weeks. So there's no Timothy head that you'll see. But in my west field, the Timothy in there is called Claire, and it's actually coming in. I'm seeing a fair number of Timothy heads in there, even though it's aged into a mixed grass field. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. The Krone Easy Cut 2801cv disc mower conditioner, tine impellers. Wonderful machine. Coupled to the 1977 Massey Ferguson 1105. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you later.